sys default, not nope, already too late. We're good. I already fixed fixed it anyways. Fuck it. I'm a god. But no, okay. Welcome everyone to Hey, on the bright side, didn't fuck ourselves on the algorithm. So yeah. Okay, so where we last left off, god damn it, the party had just saved the city of Ildithween from the blue dragon that had been summoned by the cult of dragons. After saying their goodbyes to Cregan, they headed back to the Devarian capital city, where everyone met up back up at the Roseway Tavern, had some wonderful, wholesome bits. Everyone headed to the House of Elysia. Actually, the demon Sonnoth. Fucking Laurenze hit the scroll of "fuck you, Elysia, you bitch," tethering her to the mortal plane so she can't run. Time to fight. Let's go. Yeah. If I can't be fucking poetic, I'll be goddamn quick about it. Let me, yeah. I can give you a little square to kind of like. I would say that would probably be about your staging area, save for Laurenze. Oh yeah. And then yeah, don't forget to. God damn, Aslan. Yep. Also, there is a Spotify listen group and into the battle music. And tonight, the role of Zendros will be played yet again by me. Not this time, no. Mm-hmm. I would say for the most part, the whole room is basically dim light, dim-ish at the very least. Save the kind of the light coming through the stained glass window. No, yeah, you did. Yeah, you're in the initiative list. You will not. Yes, attempt, and it's a glorious attempt, but not success. Okay. Well then. Right, exactly. All right. Well then. Let us begin. Aslan, you're up first. Unobserved. Okay. Okay. And that is against her Fortitude DC, right? Yeah. Oh, that's all right. That would be a success. Oh. That's a hit. For 13 points of damage. Aid. Okay. Yeah, Aslan tearing off with the speed that monks get, running up behind Sonnoth and kind of, I'm assuming, just kind of putting her in a fucking full Nelson and squeezing. Thus, it is Sonnoth's turn. It is a athletics check or acrobatics to break free, is it not? That's gotcha. Not she's grabbed, but not right. She is actually do. Oh, that's right. Let's take a look. Yeah, it was pretty quick. She's going to, as she is being grabbed by Aslan. Yeah, I basically just kind of make an attack, a melee strike against Aslan in turn, which will be a hit. And there's a lot here. Okay. Nope. Right. Which technically that is a 37. So does that break the grapple? Oh, right. Gotcha. That's right. That's right. Right. So I very rarely am I on this side of the grapple rules. Aslan, you take 19 as well as she whips around and using actually one of the contracts hanging from her horns and whips it effectively around you in a way, causing to begin to a cut, and your skin begins to bleed in certain spots. That actually is yes. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think the bleed would still hit you though. Uh, let me take a look here. Oh yeah. Yep. Okay. Hold on. I see what it is. Do the damage. I will subtract the 3 from the evil part. There we go. Yes. For her second action, she will attempt to break free. And you said this was against your Ethel. They are. Yep. So what is your athletics DC? 34. She just barely meets. just barely managed to get free action. Or actually move to step around her desk. Of course. Oop. Ah, that misses. Step around. And move to stand next to Laurenze. Into Zindros' turn. Fef is on deck. Okay, Zindros is going to targeting Laurenze. First action. Cast. Other. Oh, not on public, but. So Laurenze, you take half damage. Yep. And then with that, he will actually move forward a bit, just to give you more wiggle room to kind of move around. That'll be his reaction. That as well. All right, Fef, you're up. Pax, you're on deck. Okay. Unfortunate. That does not hit. Pax, you're up. Laurenze, you're on deck. Yep. Okay. Against their will. DC, that is a failure. And she's now immune to your attempts for 10 minutes. That's a hit. Okay. Yep. Yep. Not bad. Fire off the musket. Bang! Which is very loud in the office, admittedly. And then you watch as the bullet hisses a little bit even more, and as she glares over at you, Pax, before looking back to you, Laurenze. As your turn comes about, aha, you are on deck. I'll sheathe that one for you, and yeah. You already have the bastard sword out. Weird. But still, you have one action to draw the sword. Mm-hmm. Okay. That is a miss, yeah. All right, Maha, you're up. Aslan, you're on deck. Yep. Okay. Oh boy.
Hey.
Okay. Okay. Oh, it won't let me click the button. Unfortunate. Okay. It's all right. I can do the. Oh. 32. Yes. Right. Okay. Aslan, you're up. Technically, yeah, but it would just be that one square of difficult terrain. Yeah. Okay. That is definitely a success. And it's a. Yep. That is a critical success, in fact. And takes 4. Oh, unfortunate. But yeah. Oh. Okay. All right. Yep. And, there is a. Hmm. Yep. Yes, it is. All right. Her first action is going to be to attempt to get the fuck out of the restrained. Technically. Not really sure what these. One, I think. What is the DC for it again? 37? 34. Failure. She'll attempt to get out again. Can't exactly do much else. That is a 37. She does mean. Yep, exactly. She burned 2 actions. With her third action, she's going to, again, using one of her contracts, she's actually going to whip it at you, Laurenze. Traitorous cur! For a barely hits. Barely fucking hits, I'll say. 34, by the way. Mm-hmm. 28 points of damage, and again, much like Aslan, you feel what feels like dozens of tiny little razor blades. Bet. Oh, that's true. That's right. Heal that back up. It depends, I guess, on what Zindros' alignment would be. I suppose. He is. He's neutral. Right. Yep. +2. Oh. I don't like this. This has turned bad for me. All right, Zindros' next turn. He's up. He's going to. Boy. He's going to move in a bit closer. Standing here. So just sliding on past Fef, basically. And then he is going to cast. Bane. From. True. Oh. Oh. All right, so she at least resists the Bane for now. Bop! As she kind of reels from the regret that is being forced upon her mind. Bane. Right? Beth, you're up. Pax, you're on deck. That's a hit. Just chunking that damage in. That is another hit. Bop. Yeah, nope. And then debilitating strike. That's only in crit. Nope, that's for anything. He's enabled 1. Right, exactly. Pax, you're up. Laurenze, you're on deck. Mm-hmm. No, not really. Because there is actually a whole separate thing for a stock you can put on a weapon for melee damage with the rifle. Ugh. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Hey! Doesn't fucking matter. Yes, I cannot change that. That's still something that's being worked on, so. But yeah, so his emanation doubles out, and everyone now gets. Yeah. And the emanation. and then I'm going to shoot. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, as you line up your shot, you go and fire, and Sonnoth, looking over, manages to duck just in time, and your bullet goes whizzing just overhead, picking off one of her horns, basically. Okay. Unfortunate. All right, Laurenze, you're up. Maha, you're on deck. Oh no. Oh. Hold on. I just realized something. I don't think the stream has been able to hear you guys this entire time.
Oh no.
Very.
Shot might have hit.
There we go. All right, so now you guys are.
I've been saving it for a reason.
Okay.
All right, now you guys are audible again.
Hey.
Oh, no. Hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, so spell strike, two-handed, all that good shit.
Use my 8 action on the spell strike.
Hey.
Horse fucking number 50, the big one.
Okay. Gonna use the true strike reroll on that if aid doesn't make it hit.
Well, and well, I mean, you use the true strike reroll anyway.
Yeah, fuck it.
Even though I don't have her currently grabbed, could I use athletics as an attempt to grapple as part of the aid, kind of maneuver her in place, or would you rather just still be like another attack roll?
I'd say have it be an attack roll.
Okay.
Both success. Both are successful.
Hey, okay.
Spell strike is a big honking chunk of damage. That's why I saved my aid for it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck!
Oh, no!
Oh boy, here we go. So she needs to make a fort save.
Yeah, DC 30 basic fort save.
I'm gonna do this in public so everyone can see the result.
Oof.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Still takes half my punch in.
Still takes half damage.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh!
Just a quick kidney punch, don't mind me.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this disintegrate roll. There it is.
And it's only half that, but ow.
Still.
You know what's funny is I think my opportune backstab made up for the other half of the damage.
It did, actually.
Yeah.
And then some.
So,
And then some.
Don't even worry about her status.
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure.
So, the half damage from disintegrate. Before Fef, you go in to do your stumbling swings, your opportune backstab, and before you even have have the chance to, the body of Sonnoth turns to ash. It just in the shape of the demon that was standing there, contracts and all in the horns, and crumples as you go to punch through, and a poof of dust goes flying out from your fist.
Yeah, I think I got some in my mouth.
this was going to be a much bigger fight.
We hit hard.
Azalin managed to hit restrained at the exact perfect time to stop her from what she was going to do, which was call in backup.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is 2 actions to cast a spell, and she was going to summon in backup. This was going to be a much bigger fight. However...
Well, I want you to know, even that, like, I had considered hitting her with Feeble Mind, but I wanted everybody to get a chance at coming around her first. So even then, she would have found casting difficult. This character was built for one encounter.
And Laurenze, as the body of Sonnoth begins to crumble into the dust in front of you, something inside of you something that you hadn't noticed, it's been so long that you hadn't noticed was really missing. You suddenly feel swell back. You feel warmth on a level that you haven't felt before in decades. You feel almost as if the saturation of the world around you has been turned up. The colors are more vibrant. The smell of the books and what now dust filling your nostrils with much sharper details than they did before. And you feel for the first time in your life at peace. Laurenze's soul has been restored. You are now once again capable of being resurrected should you die. Because if people didn't know that,
Yep.
Laurenze was effectively playing on hardcore.
Resurrection's already hard enough, but yeah, that shit's literally impossible with the soul gone.
And as you take a deep breath, you take a bit of bleeding damage. Which hurts a lot more now, actually.
He just kind of like looks at he's just bleeding from places, basically. He's just, fucks, that hurts. God damn it. Then he literally turns around and like is about to hack the sword into the desk before seeing Azalin's on there and just kind of kicks some of the dust on the floor instead before sheathing the sword.
Yeah, speaking of, I am pouring 5 portions of sips on her ashes. just in case.
Just quench that shit out with... God.
So now I come to a conundrum because again, this fight was going to be much bigger, which I was going to give you guys were going to have much more experience, but you kind of with expert maneuvering and tactics stopped it.
Random bullshit. Oh no, we killed her. She had a contingency alarm. More combat.
No. This is way too perfect. You guys get 120 experience points.
Okay.
That seems fair.
I'm saying she should have called for backup the moment Azalin was behind her.
It's 730 now, I believe.
Yep.
Yes.
I got.
Yeah. Seeing Lorenze's much more potent reaction than what we usually see out of him. There's a little bit of a chuckle out of Maha before he rushes over to Threlwyn. Just, you gonna be okay there, friend?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just, fuck! I didn't even notice she hit me.
Adrenaline will do that.
Oh shit.
Fighting for your life.
The building begins to crumble. Or begins to rumble. And behind you, the light begins to fade from the window. As the room begins to cave inwards.
Looks like there's no time for celebration. Let's get out of here, shall we?
Yeah,
Take your
let's-
desk.
Take your desk.
You don't know what's in there.
The desk is bolted to the ground.
Take the floor.
Let's go. There's
I
enough
think
of
you
us.
have a much different understanding of the mechanics and weights of fixtures.
I
leave.
watched Aslan carry a fucking giant golem.
That is Azalin.
Well, yeah,
Right
we
there.
don't need Aslan to single-handedly carry it. We just need her to maybe help us rip the floor tile out.
Let's leave. The house is
Yeah.
crumbling.
As you guys begin to head out, leave the guards, the minions that were around have vanished, and the house, the manor, as you run through, rocks crumbling and turning to dust even as they hit the ground around you. And as you see, as the ceiling begins to come in and the roof, you see stars above you.
Oh hell, she's been sitting in a dimensional pocket the whole time.
And as you look up into the stars, you see something look back. Infinitesimally big. As it stares and notices you. Before you step out the front door and you are once again at the morning of the Devarian, in the Devarian capital. Sun is shining. Birds are singing. Children are playing somewhere nearby. It is ice cold, yet again.
Maha is going to just on this sudden contrast of seeing whatever in the hell's that was, and then stepping out to this, just going to whip back around to look at where the manor is or was.
And as you turn around, it is a field. An empty field of grass, covered in snow and ice.
Completely unoccupied lot.
Completely unoccupied. Even the wrought iron gate and fence around the property, that was around the property, is gone.
It was never here.
She's a crossroads demon, a devil. Perhaps she set up shop. It's not exactly like it was difficult to magic her way into having always been here, as it were.
Well then, I suppose maybe now we've earned ourselves a little bit of rest for once.
Very definitely morning people. And then we sleep a lot. Hey, Pax.
Yeah.
A little help, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Still bleeding.
As is Aslan. And it is worth noting the DC for this aid is 5 higher. Even the
I am-
medical attention.
Yeah, administer first aid is the action,
Yes.
Yep.
which is a standard DC of the level of the effect.
Right. Back.
And then
Level.
+5.
Yeah. Plus
Then
5.
that plus 5, yeah.
Look here. What's uh, is a look here.
I posted a link to Arc of the Nethys that has the standard DC by level.
Thank you. Yeah, so your DC you're looking to hit is 33.
Okay, it's pretty high, but let's see how I do. Does somebody want to slap me with a guidance real quick?
I can. Hold on. I need to pop back in here, make sure I'm not still targeting. Okay, I'm not. There we go.
Aslan will aid.
Hmm.
So I'm trained in medicine, so.
All right, so I will
You roll your aid
add
check.
a +1
Plus-
circumstance or status from
Yep.
guidance.
And a +1 circumstance from aid.
Can I throw an 8 out as well?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I'm trained in medicine.
+3.
Okay, so that is a circumstance bonus this time. Okay. All right. So what am I shooting for again? 33?
Yep.
Motherfucker.
Nope. Bright side, you don't hinder, you don't
They just have to make flat checks again with no bonus from me.
right. Okay, as
And even having used an action to aid, I'll would theoretically have actions available to also like try to staunch my own bleeding even without
Right.
proper administer, but to lower the DC of the check.
Right.
Because you can do that with precision damage. You can do actions that would conceivably make sense to try and help.
right.
Right. Which give you extra.
Yeah, which
Like-
lowers the DC of the check.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's no limit on how many times I can do this, apparently.
Yeah, you can do it every time you have 2 actions.
Yep. Which, considering we're out of... Well, actually, we're not technically out of combat. We're still in encounter mode, I guess.
No, well,
I mean, pending your...
I mean, you guys are now out of combat technically, yeah?
Right. But it's just still trying to stop these supernaturally resistant wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have actual bandage items? I think those are counted as, like, extra effective for DC checks, like for lowering DC.
So, by the way, technically speaking,
Yes.
if the full damage had gone through, that would have been a new highest record
Yes.
damage in a single attack.
Yes, it would have
right.
been, what, like
97.
96?
97. However, she resisted anyways, and even then, that was more than enough. So, but yeah, would have been.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Not a new official one, but a new hypothetical one. Hypothetical highest damage ever done in the campaign.
God. It's just nukes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lorenz give me a flat check as well. Yes. No, unfortunately, you guys are not able to stop the bleeding. Come around.
Lorenz technically has infinite bandages, and I say this with air quotes. You got a book with pages that don't run out.
Yeah, but that doesn't exactly. Paper is not a good stopper of bleeding. Trust me, have tried.
Um.
I should be surprised, and I'm not.
Well, try again next turn to administer first aid.
Yep.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna actually have Maha, seeing that Aslan's kind of looking a little bit rough from the bleeding at this point.
Yeah,
going
looks
to
starting to
go
look a little
over-
pale. Red.
Yeah.
Ink, if you will.
Going to go over and give a lay on hands.
Okay.
So that there is 36 healing.
There we go. Aslan, even though you are bleeding through this this infernal wound, Maha, whoop, and yeah, you definitely feel yourself get revitalized rather quickly.
Might as well try another Administer First Aid.
And I will aid again.
+1.
Okay. Aid. I'll add that +1 on. There we go. That is
Okay.
just enough.
Yes, it is.
And who was that on?
That was on you, because you have been taking more damage. Lorenz will get next.
Fair enough.
So that, I take it, drops the DC from 20 to something else?
No, that would
No, that heals it. That stops the bleeding.
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Which, oh right, you guys can click off the bleeding.
Yeah.
can't you? Yeah.
Yep, which I have.
All right, Lorenz, give me another flat check.
I'm actually going to try to take an action to make the check a little easier to do.
Okay.
I'm going to do the old produce flame cauterizing trick.
Okay.
See if that lowers the DC at all.
This being before the.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, no.
Roll the flat check. Lorenz.
That was the flat check. I rolled a 9.
Oh, right. To lower the DC. Right. Sorry. All right, Thef, I'm assuming you're going to attempt.
I think he's in the bathroom.
No, I'm sorry.
No, I'm
Pax.
here.
Oh,
I'm assuming Pax, you're going to try administer.
So there's assisted recovery, allowing you to attempt an additional flat check before the end of your turn. Usually requires 2 actions.
Okay.
So it is an extra flat check before the persistent goes off. So you would actually get another flat check after the bleed went off.
Okay. I guess I'll take it.
I will post the rules so that you can see them.
I didn't think so.
yeah.
Unfortunate.
I will throw out another medicine check
Okay.
for Administer First Aid.
Yeah, you guys just sitting in this empty lot as it kind of starts to snow.
That's to aid.
That is the aid. Okay. That is a success.
Another +1.
This is also to aid.
+2.
Okay. 1. Aid circumstance +2. All right, let's try this again.
That was almost a nat 20.
Yeah.
That is barely not a critical failure.
Don't think there's any effect for critical failures on stopping bleeding. It's only for
Critical
stabilize-
failure. If you're trying to stabilize. Oh, right. Yeah. Trying to stop
it's
bleeding, it
just-
immediately takes an amount of it immediately takes an amount of damage equal to its persistent bleed damage.
Right.
So you would
Yeah,
have
so you just make bleeding go off again, basically.
barely avoiding that.
Chet.
Do we want to should go see somebody, maybe?
Oh, that's neat. I can't actually, for the moment, critically fail and administer first aid. Because of a thing Theft gave me ages ago that I've held on to.
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
The Crying Angel pendant.
Oh, yeah.
You gave that to me like...
Oh, that was when I first found out about
Oh,
talismans.
damn. So I forgot to point out when Maha did his lay on hands, there's actually a DC 29 counteract check in order to actually even attempt to magically heal a creature that is suffering from infernal wounds.
Well, run it in anyway and see if Aslan took the healing or still was damaged.
Okay, so if it's a counteract, is that what? Just
I
how do counteracts work?
believe that is arcane. Connor?
I'm gonna just look up counteracting spells.
Use your spellcasting ability modifier and proficiency
That's
bonus
right.
for spell attack rolls.
Skill modifier, DC.
So basically, do a spell attack.
Okay. Gotcha. That I can do. All right.
And as Lorenz stands here continuing to bleed, you want a drink?
No.
More than enough.
Not yet.
So yeah, Aslan, it felt just fine.
Right.
All right, Lorenz. So I guess another, as you guys are kind of just watching, Lorenz just kind of,
At this point, it's cold, inside and outside. He's not
Yeah,
bleeding to death yet, but
I did ask in game if we should just go find somebody.
I think walking through the streets with a bleeding man might draw more attention than we want.
I mean, we want attention so we can get help. Which, if nothing else, I can go try to find us somebody.
I don't know if attention, considering everything that just happened, I don't know if that's going to be attention that we want.
What do you mean everything that just happened? There's an empty lot here.
Yeah, and that's going to raise a lot of questions for how the hell we got here and how this bleeding. Just.
Not, by the way, I'm saying that over my shoulder. Gonna go look for help before my friend bleeds out to death.
right. Okay. So Pax, are you going to attempt another?
Yep.
Thing of a doodle. Andros will also attempt to do an aid check. That is a plus 3.
Do I even have medicine? Oh, I forgot I actually do have training for medicine, so I suppose I can at least help with this one too. Oh. I thought I was untrained for it.
Unfortunately, no.
So +3?
Yep.
Okay.
D33.
Oh,
Motherfucker.
Oof. Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Let me check something real quick on the wording on aid. No, okay, never mind. Because Josh rolled a 32, critical success, and he is an expert on medicine.
Would that have been +4, not +3?
It would have been
As a total, I mean.
right. A plus. Actually, no. In order to get a additional, it would have been a +2 at the very least, which would have put it to 33. So,
Okay. Be not bleeding.
yes, you are now, after a bit of help from Aslan and Zendros, the bleeding is staunched. A angry red wound being being closed.
Yeah, sorry about that. They usually cause bleeding, not heal it.
it's okay. Even in death, that bitch couldn't leave me alone.
And then
well, I was going to just breathe a sigh of relief and then call out to Pep. You don't have to go anywhere. We got it.
I mean, we might still need to go get something. How's everybody feeling after all the blood we lost?
Actually, not terrible.
Okay.
that would. Oh wait, not second level. Oh no, that was enough. Actually. But because it is the 2 action, 8, 6. Jesus Christ, you're ridiculous. I just noticed.
Who, mine?
Yes,
I think so.
a lot compared to what it used to be. Like it's not a lot in compared to everyone else, where it used to be.
Oh yeah, taking toughness early on really kind of
Yeah.
Right. Which I ended up grabbing toughness for my general feat this last chunk of level ups as well.
It's good, man.
Yeah,
I
I wouldn't
am
play the way I do if I hadn't grabbed them also.
I am sitting at a nice chonky 188.
Damn. Though I
Yeah,
guess you do
Summoner-
have to health pool for two kids for two people, so
Right. Yeah, Summoner
Kinda,
has
yeah.
to have that.
Right. Though I think Sendros is a little bit behind, but with all the temp HP, I'm pretty sure he could break 200 easy.
oh, easy.
Yeah.
Especially like on a good soul siphon.
Right, or the Vampiric Maiden.
Yeah,
Ooh.
like not an issue.
So, as you all kind of stand, Theft, by the way, you do hear Maha call out.
Oh yeah, no. The thing about how's everybody feeling, all that was all in character. I turned and came back when everybody said they were fine.
All right.
And
By the way,
as
that
they're
all-
walking back to the Roseway Tavern, Aslan will lean over to Laurenze, whispering, "You owe me."
Think I always have. Whatever you need, name it.
In a way, you owe all of us.
I always plan to pay off in time. After all, it kind of was always the plan.
I mean, you owe me nothing as far as I'm concerned. You are a member of Clan Fefwalla.
I know, friend. It's still your first drink of every night is on me. The first drink only.
That reminds me. I still have to try something.
You don't owe me a thing. I volunteered to do this ages ago.
I know.
I've
We're
never
good
been
people.
one for caring much about debts, but well, for others that they care about, it's good to get this one off from your shoulders.
Zendros just, I don't really care about, you don't owe me anything, but a favor in the future might not necessarily be the worst thing.
Oh, I already have. I know. I know. When this is all over and we've saved the world, I guess, this sentence is starting to feel less crazy, and that's fucked up. I think I'm going back to being a scholar. Deal with all this.
Can't say I blame you on that one.
Find me in the city when you want to claim your debts.
I don't think I could manage the scholarly life. I'm pretty sure it would literally bore me to death.
I've seen it actually. First year students, we actually have a pretty high turnaround rate in the nurses station. Burnout is fucking wild.
Well,
Sometimes they actually burn out. That's mostly due to negligent spellcasting.
that I could imagine, but there is also just, for, my kind.
Ah, yes.
Boredom
Oh,
is not our best friend.
it's true. Antithetical to your existence.
Luckily for that, though, I have never had to be worried about being bored for a single day I have known any of you.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's a good time.
You're all keeping me from going gray. I will take that.
And as you are walking back to the Roseway Tavern and are beginning to kind of get there, you do see that there are clouds starting to roll in over the city. And they're not happy-looking clouds, to say the least. And as you're
Bob Ross, you failed us.
and as you step into the tavern, walking over that one, as you step into the tavern, you begin to hear precipitation, but it is not snow. It is ice. It is just pure hard ice.
Not a moment too soon.
Indeed.
And the family Roseway kind of looks up, just, welcome back. You would have gone but for 30 minutes.
It was a quick errand.
I try to do business quickly. You've always known that.
I suppose you're true. You're correct.
He just walks over and goes back into the kitchen and straight just makes a beeline for it. Doesn't even drop anything off at the door or anything. Just a straight beeline for the kitchen to find and hug his mom.
Yeah, and Marik is in the kitchen, naturally. Making food, making lunch. Because it's not even lunchtime yet. Oh, my boy. Hello.
No words.
Oh,
Just wraps her in the biggest hug possible. Actually tries to lift her off the ground for once. We'll never have to worry about anything ever again.
well, that's not entirely true. I mean, there are supplies that we need to worry about.
No, I mean real worry.
Son, supplies are a very real worry. I mean, if we can't get the supplies to make food, then no.
Mother. You know what I mean. Our old lives are very much fully behind us now.
Good.
I love you, Mom.
I love you too, son. Now go clean your room.
I imagine Maha just barely heard that being over the bar nearest the kitchen. Just that.
Yes,
Just
of course. Lawrence just kind of steps out of the kitchen, kind of wiping his face. Look at Maha. I know spells to do that shit.
chores are chores.
I suppose we'll do it later.
Oh, and language.
I get one. I
No, you don't!
Ah!
Wooden fucking spoon coming out of the kit. Like, just Marik leans around the corner, just whips a fucking wooden spoon to the back of Laurence's head, and then heads back to the kitchen. Just full.
Looks like you don't.
Figured I would have
One
at least
mental
gotten
damage.
one.
As the windows begin to ice over. A very now familiar figure over by the fire, just. Oh. You're walking with a much lighter step than when you left. The familiar, bald, dark-skinned form of Xavier just sitting by the fire, smoking a pipe, reading a book.
It's a funny thought, considering I've got more with me now than I did when I left. I'm gonna go over to the windows and just warm them with prestidigitation to keep the glass from cracking because it gets too cold. And then sit down by the fire and just kind of quietly enjoy a moment.
Anya, meanwhile, already has walked over to Aslan, picked her up, and taken her upstairs.
Jesus!
Okay, bye.
It's not. It's like. It's almost like a kidnapping.
This is mine now. Goodbye.
Because she's an adult.
You can have her
I
back
know.
later.
No, I mean, just if she's an adult.
I feel like there's nothing we could do to stop that if we tried.
No,
You couldn't.
and it's not because of my sister.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Moving on. I assume is Seren around?
Oh yeah, he's just cleaning up the bar top area, just kind of has already offered to pour drinks effectively. I'm not
I don't
going to try too much into business, but thank you for what you've done.
Of course. Your son has stood by with us through thick and thin. Least we could do is be there for him, especially for something so important.
I told him I'd help him. I don't go back on my word.
Say, I don't suppose those books that we left back here, are they still here, or did Headmaster Veostrix come by?
Let me take a look. I do believe he did come by, though, yes.
Perfect.
Or at least a runner for him. That he was busy, but someone working for him. A gopher, I think would be the term.
Wait, didn't Lorenz tell his brothers not to give it to anybody except him?
Oh, gods.
To be fair, they did leave it behind the counter with me. But I did double check him. He's on the up and up.
I don't suppose you got a name?
Was Zelgin, I think he said his name was.
There it is again.
Sounds shifty.
No, the name does. I do remember that Leland has kept fairly consistent contact with him. So the name at least checks out. Suppose that seems reliable enough. Well, we'll have to
Drinks?
see if. Yes, please. It's
No better way to spend out a Devarian ice storm than with day drink.
I'm going to ask Seren to refill my ale with a drink of his choice. Something I haven't had before. I don't care what it is.
I'm going to make you an absolutely absurd amount of a cocktail I enjoy, and then I will pour it in. As he pulls out 2 spirits, a bottle of syrup, and what look to be mangoes.
I don't even know what's going on with this thing anymore.
Pulls out a fucking mixer, just throws in the ice.
I don't know if anyone could. I feel like you could hand that to some of the finest alchemists in the realm, and they would be baffled.
That's a problem for other people.
Exactly, Feth. But yeah, and then just pours out a strainer and just pours it directly into the fucking flask, basically.
I do apologize if that was supposed to be a nice drink. I have no idea what it's going to do in there.
It is indeed a very nice drink. Whatever the fuck it does, who knows? It is the unholy / holy, apparently, mix of whatever the fuck is in there. So hey.
Just Ma just pondering for a moment, and then kind of leaning over the bar towards the kitchen. Just, hey, is Soren immune to the language rule?
You little shit. And Marie just kind of leans out and just, yes, if only. Because I know how to get him back. Soren
Just looking to Soren, just, you're welcome.
I don't want to pour you a drink anymore.
I'm curious. Soren, do you have a tiny glass and a match?
Yes.
I am going to pour one shot and see if it lights up or not with the match.
Okay. Okay. You pour. You light at the match.
Huh.
Huh.
I drink it. With the fire.
Just, I know that you just completely chugged an entire glass of piping hot tea, but I feel like that's a different level.
Oh, it's just a
Don't
flaming
waste
mo.
alcohol. Yeah, don't waste alcohol.
It is indeed just a flaming mo.
Well,
I will voluntarily take 2 points of fire damage.
that's good. Understandable.
Just a little bit of the skin peeling from the roof of his mouth.
Yeah, it's definitely not great. That being said, hey. Yes. The day and the storm passes without incident. Everything peaceful. Is there anything anyone would like to do?
I don't remember at this point but I believe we're in the same town. Fef has a drink to try.
Oh no, that was an Ildithween.
Okay.
Yes, you
Then
have.
I'm going to demand it be remade. With no idea what goes in it.
Yeah, sorry, just what? What is it?
I honestly think I think it was just a little bit of everything, as I recall it.
Kinda-
Um,
And he just kind of. Okay, just starts pouring spirits into a mug.
I mean, you could give Fef like a high difficulty recall knowledge society check or something. See if he remembers.
Oh no, it's fine because I don't remember either. So, you know,
it was some crazy. God,
It was
remember-
effectively an adios, motherfucker.
that's
Yeah,
right. It was
yeah.
the AMF. That's right. Yeah, you know, you're right. Warden's right. Beth, give me a recall knowledge.
Because I'm trying to remember, you
For
actually
society?
had a similar
on.
name that you gave for it back in Ildithween.
Okay, hold on. Can I argue that Fef is a trained alchemist and I should get to roll craft?
I feel like
I'm going to allow this.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember what the name was that you used for it back in Ildithween. I want to say it was like Sayonara Asshole.
Something like that. It
That
was
sounds
something
right.
like goodbye asshole or something like that.
That's right. Yeah. Sayonara asshole sounds about right. And Soren just, because Fef, you do remember the name with a bit of prodding, the long since baked neurons in your brain. Eventually just, yeah. And Soren just, oh, yeah, I know that. And he just stops what he was making and just kind of sets that aside before whipping up a glass of sayonara, asshole, before just sliding it to Fef.
And Fef will drink. I assume there's a fort save incoming.
Yeah. Give me that fort save.
He really thought about it and then just. Mm-hmm.
I was like, Ma's
you know
probably
what?
just watching him just drink this. I'm assuming Fef is gonna take just not a sip, but is this like full on swig or
Oh yeah,
chug?
no, drink is gone.
Fef shotguns the blue liquid. And Fef, it's definitely highly alcoholic. Like, and it's good. It doesn't taste bad. It's good.
Oh, that's the scary part.
Yes. But you've also definitely had more damaging things done to your body by liquids before. I phrased that in a very specific way.
You ever have too many thoughts at once?
No.
Yes.
I just.
That can happen.
Dan's got a point. Fuck else do you say to that?
Por qué no los dos? You know what I mean? No.
All right, you don't speak Spanish.
What the fuck is Spanish?
What the fuck is a Spain?
And that thing at the back of your head goes down through your back.
I thought that's when you stepped bad and rolled your ankle.
I thought that's what you called rain on a plane.
Damn, okay. Guess we're just going in tonight. Sure.
It's what we do. You know that.
Right.
It's true.
God. I just the fact of just that coming in the packs, boys. We just ever have too many thoughts at once? No. Oh,
You may not like it, but this is what peak Pathfinder performance looks like.
Oh my god. No, I mean, for you know what? Check your audience next time, I suppose.
As the day progresses into night, the day carries on. Not much business at the Roseway Tavern tonight. The storm kind of keeping everyone in. Most not really braving the ice. However, what it does allow for is a very nice, quiet evening at the Roseway Tavern with the Roseway family. A good home-cooked meal. Drinks. Merriment and good company. You guys are able to go to what are quickly becoming familiar beds and sleep.
plunk.
Don't forget to hit one for Zendros.
Yep.
Yeah.
As you all come down in the morning, Marik already has a full breakfast out for everyone.
She always works fast.
I do what I can. Good morning, by the way.
Good morning to you too.
So, what are your plans for today?
Well, I think it wouldn't be a terrible idea for us to try and check back in with Veostrix, see if he's managed to glean anything else out of those books that we may have missed.
I would be careful. Apparently the roads are quite slippery out today.
Understood. And Storm last night did seem like it may have done a bit of a number on things.
Slowing traffic and whatnot.
And Lorenz, you did say that Radicaster is still expecting us to get back with him at some point, yes?
He did reach out.
I want to see what we can figure out from Beatrix first before we delve any further with that.
Good idea. Also give him time to having the day to study the books. It might be a little better informed on their contents.
Yeah. What we did manage to glean from it already seemed just incredulous enough.
It did.
I'm sorry, out of character. I'm still just thinking back on just the whole process of trying to decipher those books and everyone else's checks being fails or crit fails, hampering Lorenz and still getting that.
Literally used Fef like a book stand.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll find a way to be helpful.
There's that energy.
Indeed.
I would have to stop.
So, what is the first order of business?
Well, I think after finishing breakfast, Ma would probably be intent to just try and get back to the academy to see if Aostrix is in.
Sure.
Mhm.
Anyone else? Obviously, Lorenz wanting to go. Are the rest of you wanting to go, or is someone wanting to do something different?
I'll go. I don't have enough money to do anything different.
Same.
Mood.
Big fucking same. Doo doo doo.
Look, the items I want at this point are all very hard to find or very expensive.
I just need like 80 Swift Block cabochons, so I can just have a stock of them.
That and also just the bag of holding taken up by like 40 bucklers.
Yes.
Just strapping on 2 new ones after every fight.
No, I'm
just
mid-combat.
strap the bucklers onto your body like that one fucking, I think, Daredevil villain who just strapped babies onto his body.
Yes. Remind me to tell you about the spiked halfling full plate.
I remember
It
that.
provided half concealment because reasons.
The
What?
I can summarize the story real quick. It was spiked armor that was then covered in halflings.
And it provided 50% concealment bonus.
because of all the dead halflings.
I was playing. We random rolled characters for a campaign I was in, and I rolled really badly, except in like strength and con. And I rolled a half orc rogue. So I was a half orc rogue in spiked full plate, and some halflings tried to jump me, so I gave them a hug and realized that it provided cover, so I just left them there.
That's so fucked.
Yeah, that's not okay. That's really not okay.
3-5 was the time.
I love 3-5.
Why don't you go fucking marry 3-5?
Maybe I will.
Halfling plate. Not full plate.
Mother fuck. Okay. So as you guys gather up your things and kind of bundle up, heading out to head to the academy. It is still rather chilly out today. Not as chilly as the day before. And certainly not as chilly as some of your days in Clint. However, it is not bad. I mean, it's cold, but it's compared to where you've been. Admittedly, the ice on the ground does make traveling a little difficult. It does take you guys about double the time that it normally would to get to the academy, just from having to like walk carefully.
Maha's good. Low center of gravity.
No, that just means it's even funnier when he trips and falls. You have, like America's Funniest Home Videos, except it's a halfling instead of a child.
Gnome, thank you.
He's a gnome.
That's true. That is true. I do apologize.
Duvarian Funniest Home Videos.
It's because of the halfling talk from Monsieur down here.
That's weird. It's not like they were walking anywhere.
God damn it. Also, yes, Duver's Funniest Home Videos. It's just a picture of a fucking werewolf ripping somebody in half and fucking off, and everyone just...
It's Duvarian humor. It's no laughing matter.
Oh, so what you're saying is that the clip of a child or a gnome falling down isn't complete until a carriage runs over their head.
There you go. Now you get it.
Aha, yes, very funny. Look, see, it is peak humor.
Look, mortality.
Haha, it reminds me of my own mortality. Even better. Ha ha ha.
Sounds less like Funniest Home Videos and more like Live Leak.
Hey, I mean, same. Just translates differently, I suppose.
Oh, it's fucked.
There's a Scry network that just shares exclusively fucking war footage.
Fuck.
Yeah. But no, as you guys head to the academy, again, it's taking a little bit longer. Except, I'm assuming, Aslan, because Monk.
Actually, Steph and I shouldn't have much trouble either. It's balance that's on acrobatics.
Yeah, true. Aslan can fly, though.
For 10 minutes.
If she chooses to, I should say.
But I mean, also she has good acrobatics, so.
Doesn't she have hooves, too?
She does.
I thought so. So Aslan could just get up from fucking running speed and then just fucking slide along the ice on the sidewalk. Just whee! Got built-in Heelys.
You beat me to it.
I mean, if she were a demon instead of a devil, well, actually, I don't know which one applies to hell, but would she have hellies?
Oh!
You ever try to just will your heart to stop beating?
Yes,
Orange
actually.
Monkey Eagle? Orange Monkey Eagle, I think, is what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. Purple monkey dishwasher.
Yeah, you gotta find that 3 words that shut your brain off.
What was
John Wick.
What was the one phrase that you had said before, TJ?
Oh yeah, did you know infants are capable of screaming themselves to death at birth? I will now attempt to replicate this act.
God damn it, Gordon. Well done.
Look, this is what you guys signed up for.
I am aware.
Indeed.
100%. No regrets.
No, none whatsoever. However, God damn it. Do we all get crowns? We only got 2. God! Oh, that's funny to someone. Oh. So, as you get to the academy, I hear TJ laughing about something, and I'm not sure what.
The Padawan Acadawan. The Padame
Fuck.
Academy. Fuck it.
Ah!
Okay, Naboomer.
Oh!
He's grabbing White Claw. Give him a minute.
God needs to drink.
Oh, welcome to. I thought this was a fantasy game.
Yeah, nondescript, non-trademarked alcoholic beverage.
Sponsor me.
Pathfinder, brought to you by White Claw.
Listen,
Oh.
I'd consider drinking.
What's that?
I would consider drinking White Claw if they sponsored us.
Well, to be fair, they make an 8% version now.
Well, see, I don't. TJ knows this, but I haven't
Oh, that's
drank
right.
anything in a long ass time, just because I don't usually have a good time. Not like it's a bad time, but then I wake up missing a tooth.
Oh yeah. Remember when I told you the cat bowl story?
Oh.
Yeah, like I have a really good time, and it's a lot of fun. And then there are consequences when I wake up.
I think
I've
that's
had-
just life.
Well, I've also had like only 3 hangovers ever, but they all were 12 hours plus. So like, no, thank you.
Ugh.
Anyway. To the academy.
Yes, you get to the academy. You head on up to the into the main tower of the home of the Archmagus and her husband. Boy toy. And you no, husband, they're married. It's fine. And as you head up with it's admittedly it's a little bit of a wait for you guys to actually be announced and allowed up. That's really funny in memes. What I just saw. That's really funny, Cam. You fucking.
It takes an extra step.
It does. I enjoy it. And eventually the elevator is lowered, and you are allowed on. Step on up. You enter the abode of Leolin and Veostrix. Leolin still shuffling around in a night robe. Veostrix has is clearly in like loungewear, but also is wearing a giant like cap, like a nightcap still.
Good morning.
Guten Morgen, how are you?
I think actually doing better than you two right now.
We always have
We got-
late nights when Zelgin comes to visit. No. Too many stories to share.
I'm not one to presume anything.
He is a traveling adventurer like you. He brings stories back from the wide continent. You pervert.
He made no such implications.
He did. And she just points at Lorenz.
I said nothing.
I assure you. You don't need to say anything.
I just want it to be known I said nothing.
Oh, yes. You do know I can read your mind, right?
I do now.
Or do you?
Does it matter?
No. He?
Please, yes.
And Leolin nods and just kind of like hobbles off towards the kitchen area. It's all, the architecture here is all very, I can say this and some of you will get it, but some of you probably won't. Very Silver Moon kind of inspired architecture in the upper level of the tower. Very, very kind of Warcraft Blood High Elf kind of architecture with the high arches, gold and white, and whatnot.
I was kind of imagining it like a penthouse studio apartment almost.
Of a sort.
Like really fancy, but like everything's contained.
Right.
Right, fancy but still utilitarian.
Exactly.
Like I can see my kitchen from my bathroom. But my bathroom's all marble, and my kitchen's all granite.
Again, my kitchen's all onyx. No, and Veostrix says, well, how are you all doing? Guten Morgen. Morgen.
Well enough. I take it you were able to get a hold of the books that we had left for you then.
Yes. I had our friend Zelgan wanted to get them all. I had to do a lecture.
Were you able to find anything of interest out with those?
Yes and no. A lot of it is a lot of the books already are information that what we have already shared previously in that regard. But unfortunately, nothing we knew. A version of historical events. It's unfortunate.
But some of those events, are any of them familiar to you, or was it?
They should be. Yet I have trouble. Every time I try to focus on one in particular, it just they're on the edge of recollection.
Like a stupor still cast to keep people blind to it.
Yeah. Whatever spellcraft has been cast on whatever this is, it is powerful and old and likely the work of Gratharum.
You think he is responsible for keeping people ignorant?
Gratharum, maybe one of is most likely in my mind simply because for any of the others, it would have faded when they were killed. Very rarely does magic continue on in this world after the caster's passing. Occasionally it does, but not usually.
I didn't want to make any assumptions given the primordial and source of magic that the worms themselves are. I feel that it's a bit out of my purview.
Indeed.
Now, in some of our deliberation of the implications from the information within these books, the conclusion that we seemed to likely draw upon is the intent of Gratharum to effectively return this continent to the way it once was, home only to the dragons and their treasure.
That is the interpretation I have come to. Well, odd, like I have been here since then. And
I have no knowledge of hardly anything about Gratharum nor Gavinox, save for the names. But
yes. What a ponce.
you are familiar as well, then.
Gavinox is a. You notice even as he speaks, the accent sort of fades. Different. Gavinox is a very just say that self-absorbed creature, even by dragon standards.
When you say that the accent is slipping, is it like slipping more towards like a draconic dialect then, or?
No, just the attempt at a Duvarian accent has kind of fallen away into something you can't quite place regionally on Capon.
Okay. Well, there is a bit of a thought that has been occurring to me, as foolish and optimistic as it may be. Gratharum has fled from Capentar in order to presumably amass forces in the further continents to come here and lay waste. Is that not so?
Yes, and from what I can gather and from what I can feel, he is on the way back.
So time grows short already.
Yes.
But if what the books here state is a true telling of events, the entire reason for the coming of Gratharum and the other worms to this continent was to separate themselves from the others to avoid the breaking of another civil war.
Apparently the mere thought that the accumulated wealth of so many dragons could potentially fall into the hands of lesser races. Apparently even more offensive.
Well, my point though is this. Gratharum has, if he has indeed been able to reamass an army, there are sympathizers for him within the other continents. Would that not be so?
Or potentially other dragon. Maybe other terrestrial.
as foolish and vain a hope as it may be, cannot help but wonder if it is in fact securing their treasure and their wealth that they're after. If they do have lands beyond to be able to return to, what if we give it to them?
Give the horde.
Our associate back in Alhax Radicaster says that he has completely assembled the map in order to lead the way to the Grand Dragon Horde. If it is a matter of Gratharum and his army seeking to reclaim the Horde, obviously if they're willing to go so far as to wipe out all of the lower races in order to get it, if we could present it to them without a fight, if they have places to return to, secure their treasure, and go in peace, perhaps it's still too foolish and vain a hope for anyone as prideful as the worms may be, but I see very little others in the way of recourse for how to avoid the assured slaughter that would come from a full-on war.
Indeed. Though, knowing that Ratharum and Gavinox, assuming Gavinox still lives, together, they feed off of each other's hatred. Were it, say, one of the other worms, you might have a point, but I believe in this case, peace was never an option. Meme image of dragon holding a knife, scuttling towards you.
Well, can't blame the diplomat for trying to find a way to talk things out.
It is in your nature, and it is commendable as always, Mahajan. You are the level-headed reasoning that will be needed in the aftermath and rebuilding of this long period of war.
I do suspect you mean more than just the Duvarian and Rashadran war.
Very likely. And it is then you hear a gasp from the kitchen as Leolin quickly runs out and the night robe and whatnot disappears. And in its place, effectively a magical fucking wardrobe change as the nightgown disappears and her normal flowing robes of station reappear. And just, we have to go to the palace now. The prince has gotten in touch with me. The emperor has gotten in touch with me. We are under attack.
Oh, gods.
By what now?
Apparently there is word of dragons. In the and she kind of just fucking, Eshia,
We can worry about being briefed when we get to the palace.
yes. And with that, actually, Veostrix quickly, I mean, he with his own flick of a wrist, his own wardrobe changes to that of not his usual robes of a teacher, but that of full plate armor. For a splendid, shining, with, very well polished with cloth that hangs off of the certain parts to kind of give better mobility for the legs. I leave my wife to teleport you to the palace. I will retrieve our best weapon. And with that, he goes running out, heads out of the onto the balcony of the home of their lovely home at the top of the tower, and jumps from the balcony. And a moment later, the true massive golden form of Veostrix flies over the skies of the Devarian capital city, going straight for the Roseway Tavern. As Leland just gathered, okay,
Okay,
Right.
know what this means.
I'm sure that will be fine. Nothing will come from that. Gather around, everyone, and as she gathers you all around, a flick of the wrist and a quick motions and words, you are teleported to a teleportation circle that has been preemptively set up in the Devarian Palace, and it is there that we will take our break.
Okay. Well then.
Hell yeah.
We will return in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Catch y'all in a bit.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. See you shortly. And I'm back.
Welcome back.
Why was there a screech in my ear?
I think it's Doom music playing on the Spotify.
Okay.
No, not Doom. The Haunting of Hill House. At least that's what it has on for me at the moment.
See, this is where we could have really been jerks to him and been like, what scream?
We're still on break, so we're muted, right?
No, I think he leaves us unmuted to be entertaining.
See, I need to know that because that decides what I'm about to say.
I think. I have no fucking clue.
I can pop open the stream and check and make sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is. We are coming through.
Okay. I would be extremely susceptible to being fucked with like that. Let's just go with that one.
So don't do that. Got it.
I mean, or do. I'm not the boss of you.
I just don't like to mess with things that actually are problems for people.
Okay, no, that's valid. It wouldn't be. Here, I'll just type because I'm trying to be like words because not my
Understandable.
house.
Like, just as an example, and sorry, Jake, calling you out here, just like, I don't do spider stuff for Jake because he's, got issues with spiders, so. You don't mess with people's phobias, you don't mess with things that, that's just, it's not cool, you don't do that.
Ye.
Yeah, like, no, I understand, and that is very honestly a good way to do shit, but not quite that serious.
Fair enough.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How are you?
All right.
Not going into DC for a long time if I can help it now.
Oh, what happened?
Multiple shooters at DuPont Circle.
Oh,
Couple more people dead. DC is up to 133 deaths for the year already, which is I think they said it was a 13 to 20% increase over last year, which was already the 20-year high.
Jesus.
It's not great.
No.
DC
Not
out here
great at
going,
all.
we're going for the record. Again.
I mean, all things considered, they'll probably only get, like, bronze medal, but they're definitely going to be on the podium at this rate.
Yeah, Baltimore still exists, as does Detroit and Chicago.
No. Detroit's not where you got to worry about here.
Yeah.
That would be Flint
No.
or Lansing.
Fair enough.
And, Baltimore's not the only potential podium here in the state. Annapolis is actually a shithole.
That tracks.
It just doesn't get talked about as much because of Baltimore.
Right.
Fuck you, Baltimore.
So.
Are we on a weird Spotify playlist now? Because it's been like horror and doom music for like 5 or 6 tracks now.
Yes.
I think it's suspense music.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Ah. So, as we gather back up, the you are teleported to the Devarian Palace. God damn it, Dan.
I shall go ahead and share it here. It will not make sense for the non-14 player, but
the sorry, you are teleported to the palace via Leolin's teleportation magic, and quickly led to a that is now that some of you are quite familiar with the point. Others not so much, if I remember correctly. The war room. Continental map of Kapantar, shown in great detail. The Emperor here, with his retinue of advisors. They look up as you enter and just, Leland, good to see you. And my friends. I was going to summon you anyway, so this kills towards one stone. And around there are emissaries. One from the one from the Roshadran Kingdom. In fact, a familiar face, even. War King Arcos. Standing here. Just kind of. Has been a while. It's good to see you.
good to see you doing well.
Vala's brood. Yes, I am no longer War King Arcos. I am now Emissary Arcos. When there is no war, there is no need for a War King.
You know, I was going to ask.
I am now, but because of my distinction back home and bringing the war to an end, I was given the role of negotiator.
See.
Especially since now Emperor Albert and I were the ones to come to a peace accord.
It's good to see continued cooperation, though I get the feeling that further discussion on the intricacies of politics may need to be set aside for a time.
Unfortunately, so. Yeah! And it's good to see you lot too! As the emissary from Kalint makes himself known. The former as you know him,
Yes.
Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, how you all doing? They made me emissary. Would you believe it?
I don't. I don't believe it.
Good, because I'm fucking with you. I'm not actually. The emissary to Clint.
I,
As he kind of jingles his clan theft wallet earring. Like they'd make me a fucking emissary. You fucking kidding me? No.
with as little disrespect as possible, I'm thankful.
Right. As am I. And the real emissary from Kalin. Corum. And it rises from a chair in the corner.
Chorus.
Corum.
Different person altogether.
Trying to
The
remember.
oh no, I'm sorry, not Corum. Corum is was one of the other clan Fefwalla plants. It was the leader of the downtrodden from the slums, the former Duvarian lieutenant.
Ah, okay. I didn't have his name in my notes, actually.
No, that's fair. I wrote down the wrong name. So, what's his name? Nobody knows anymore. But yes, no. The actually, I probably still have it. Hold on. Brian Durand.
Brian, that's what it is. Okay.
I knew I had it written down somewhere. It was in my in my other notes page. But yes, Brian Durand raises from a chair in the corner and just good to see you again.
Pleasure to see you again as well.
He comes over with the cane, actually. Stepping with the cane. Previously was needed, but not really able to get. We are, if I remember, if I do believe. Jesus Christ. We are waiting on that one. We are waiting upon the friend Magus's consort, husband, apologies, and the weapon.
He's already headed off to retrieve the one in question.
And it's not long at all before eventually Veostrix and Orodia, also in her armor again, right into the war room. And Emperor Albert kind of raises himself up and glad to see that everyone could be here. Here's what we know. Not but an hour ago, less than an hour ago, I received a message from the leadership in Eschia, in the capital city of the peninsula of Eschia. A squadron of dragons has steered up the coast and attacked. No less than 12 full-sized adult dragons of various different chromatic colors swept in from the coast all over the city. Did tremendous amounts of damage, and from there it would be spread off in many different directions. Some heading up north towards Grok, Goshor, and Othad. Others towards Troidal and presumably for their Ugrait or even Hatsir. And others heading south more western towards Inktoe and the Bavarian interior itself. This is believed to be a scouting party for the main force that is but a few days away, coming from further offshore, as has been corroborated with the fuck. Corroborated further by the High Captain, the High Captain Ibn Ocean himself and his people.
So the Free Sail Republic has eyes further out east.
They said that they are watching the situation and keeping tabs on it for us. Ported dragons in the hundreds, being led, not necessarily from the front, but led nonetheless by the Red Worm.
You say we have just days before they arrive in bulk.
Yes. It is unfortunate. I thought we had more time, but plans can be accelerated.
They can and they must.
Indeed. It does not look good. According to High Captain Ocean Runner, it would seem that with the ocean under the worm where he flies boils. So, that alone is concerning to me. I may not have exactly paid attention through most of my science lessons. However, I do know that's fucking hot. And especially considering
Can't say I'm thrilled about that one, yeah.
especially considering the speed at which they see flying.
Well, with what we had seen it accomplish within Auhax, can't say that I'm terribly surprised. Half of the stone in that quadrant of the city was melted.
Indeed. So, while I know many of you are, I'm sure, itching to marshal out the full might of the Bavarian Empire immediately, that is not what we will be doing, as much as it does pain me to say. This is done for multiple reasons, some of which I cannot say due to nature of the nature of the reasons. State secrets, as it were. That being said, there is a plan. I would instead have, if Wallace Brood, if you would be our forward strike party as an attempt to mitigate the damage from the dragons as they attempt to ravage the lands, as it were. The bulk of the Bavarian forces are being held in reserve for when the worm himself shows. My plan is simply I would have you 6 face against Gavinox, distract Gavinox, and hopefully defeat him, while Orodia and the Dreadnought take on the worm himself. Of course, backed up by the full, up until then hidden, might of the Bavarian Air Navy. Because my fear is, if we appear too strong too fast, they might divert, attempt to fly to a different part of the continent, weaken potential allies. But if we appear weak at the beginning, give them no real reason to think that they might encounter significant resistance here, it would focus on them. And then we circle in around them and defeat kills the worm in one fell swoop, with the hope that, well, if a worm can be killed, what hope do they have? Scatter the dragon wind.
I can certainly see the intent in this. Has there been any word from the rune giants within Kalint on progress on reforging or reclaiming the runes?
They have been making progress, but the preparations that, as the Emperor said, are technically considered state secrets are proceeding ahead of schedule and should be ready in time.
There's a little bit of a not a full on scowl, but a bit of a frown at the repeating of this state secrets bit.
Yeah, and admittedly, to be fair, besides you six and the emissaries, there were about 24 other diplomats and other kind of higher nobility in the room.
Right.
It is not just a very empty room. It is many of the higher houses of the Devarian Empire are here.
Right.
As, in fact, Zendros is would be very nervous, / is, because technically there is a representative of the House of Sealmore here. As while the Sealmore house was based out of the Hasir princes, it is being an arms-dealing house, considers itself neutral in the conflict between the Devarian Empire and the Cold War between the Kingdom of Hasir and the Devarian Empire itself. So Zendros is definitely a little nervous, and kind of attempting to keep Laurenze between him and the Sealmore representative at all times if he can help it.
Oh yeah, I'll actually step in straight line in the line between him and
Sealmore. It's a Laurenze eclipse, effectively.
Arms crossed to make my body large. I'm doing the full there's a person behind me, you can't look at them kind of a thing.
Right. Again, I especially after the way that my mother handled the original appearance of this worm, I do not relish the thought of giving minimal support to my people when they are under attack. But if we lose too many forces at this initial incursion, suddenly we don't have enough left to face the worm and his bulk of forces when they are up.
I do fully understand, Your Highness. These are matters that do need to be considered, but I take it that Leland and Veostrix have informed you on what the likely goal of the worms and the dragons are, and what it is they aim to do.
Complete and utter extermination of all life on the continent. Yes. It is worth noting. I did receive a message before the message cut off abruptly from Eshia. 3 of the worms were headed southwest. 3 of the dragons were headed southwest. It is possible they are heading to the forts at the new barrier between Tuver and Roshadran. But it's deep in the very land. It is also possible that they are heading to the Tiefwald. We simply won't know until they reappear.
Right.
Those forts still stand, and they are still very capable of halting an entire Roshadran army. And the Godric They're just gonna. They are. That they are. It is. Arcos just kind of. When you put, frankly, 3 forts filled with some of the best mages the continent has ever seen, even magic technology cannot exactly do much against that.
Let's see. Well, while heading off these dragons is certainly of key import, there is a matter of intelligence gathering that I believe may be of use in preparing for when Gratharum and Gavinox arrive.
Indeed. My general plan. Oh, well, actually, no. I already said. And he kind of. For now, I would have you face off against the. Try to mitigate damage of the dragons to our homeland, but don't die.
Wouldn't dream of it. But as far as that intel gathering that I just mentioned,
Yes.
I do not know if Veostrix would have shared this, or rather even how much he's privy to. But there is someone that my friends and I here have been keeping in contact with in Auhax. A man by the name of Radicaster.
There's some grumbling and murmurs in the room at the mention of Auhax. It, of course, being well known as one of the capitals. In fact, actually, the new capital of the kingdom this year.
With the Wyrm's aim to eliminate all of the mortal races in order to reclaim the continent, what they are seeking to secure is the Grand Horde that they had once hid away here.
Then, hold.
There's a great hoard of treasure that the dragons secreted away to this continent.
And you can see Veostrix kind of flinch when you mention it out loud. He doesn't say anything, but you definitely see it.
If this is indeed what they seek to secure and lay claim to, locating it and being able to perhaps anticipate their route or their intended destination may be able to better prepare us for when they do arrive.
Indeed. Fortunately, the kingdom of Hasir is not exactly communicative. The wounds of the Worms Rising still have not healed. And diplomatic channels have not been open to our emissary. Not hostile, just not exactly openly willing to be diplomatic.
I cannot say the fact surprises me.
If you do believe that Ratacaster would actually lead you to this horde, and there's definitely a murmur amongst the crowd as well at the mention of the horde. And one of the nobles of one of the higher houses, what kind of horde? How much riches are we looking at?
Enough that the dragons will want to kill everybody to get it. Should that not be enough for you?
And there's some. Oh,
She has a point.
there are some murmurings again. Especially because like some of the nobles definitely are very intimidated, Aslan, by your appearance. Like You're a scary looking bitch. And many of them are just like, but the one that spoke up definitely doesn't press it.
I know that it may well be a long shot. It may simply be the matter that the Wyrm and his dragons may simply attempt to scour the land first and then lay claim. But if we are able to find it, potentially fortify or at least prepare in some way,
If we can find it, it would certainly not go amiss to be protected.
I have been wondering.
And everyone in the room looks to you.
According to this history, the worm and the dragons have done everything in their power to obscure everything about what has happened. Would not then, in what they believe to be the most hidden of places, they perhaps hide something of great importance? Not just treasure, but something more important than that.
you
A
think they
weapon,
may
a
have
weakness.
something they fear could undo them to secret it away.
And then they tried to scrub the memory of any alive that would have remembered where it was, so that they could not be undone. Not counting on the, well, dirty little things that giants created to help them do their dirty little work. Suddenly growing a little more intelligent than they'd hoped. And infinitely more curious than even the gods would like.
There you do have a point, Laurenze. And out of the shadows steps a very tall form. As gasps run about the room as Father Feth steps from the shadows and kind of appears in the room.
Oh, great.
Hey.
Hello, my son. And he kind of reaches down and just kind of pets Feth's head.
Today is immediately a good day.
Aslan, I would ask that you please do not let out your bloodthirst towards me quite yet. There are certain other matters we must attend to first. It is true.
That note, who is moving to keep her from acting on said impulse?
I am actively stepping out of the way of whatever direct line is between the two of them.
Ma is going to see Pax step away and just look to Lorenz and gesture to his own height and inability and just motion.
and stepping in, Lorenz will step in at this point. Just, I will help you kill him.
Oi.
All right, hey, hold on a minute.
First of all, aha. Second of all, there are more important issues at hand. Yes, indeed, you are infinitely more curious than... And by this point, many of the guards that were outside of the room have stepped in and, like, drawn swords, because because the gasps drew the guards in immediately. And Father Fetched... Really? And the swords immediately rust to dust in their hands and just fall to the ground. And just... Please, let us not be so base as to draw violence in this hallowed hall of wartime planning.
Give him 5 minutes and I step out of the way and you tackle the ever-loving shit out of him.
I heard that. Now, what would Roland think?
Roland would have let her do it immediately.
I'm aware. It's not the point. I'm trying to
TJ
throw you off your
cackling in
game.
the background is amazing.
What's that?
TJ cackling faintly in the background through your microphone kind of sells it.
It's true that you are infinitely more curious than like. However, which I have very rapidly learned, by the way. Well done. There are greater issues at hand. For those who don't know, hello, I am the newest god of your pantheon, Father Fef. You may line up to worship as you see fit, wherever you may. Pax, what was that roll for?
Musical accompaniment.
You fuck.
Haha.
I've come...
By the way, I am going to continue humming the song just below hearing level the entire time.
I'm aware. It may interest you to know, or it may not interest you to know. I've been delaying, as I can, the dragons and their advance on the continent. And I see your look of disbelief, Mahajapit, and I assure you, I have been. Because simply put, it would not do to have your final encounter, if you will, before you're strong enough for it. I need time. You need time to get stronger. And I assure you, that's coming sooner than you might think. However,
He'd know all about that.
haha. Lorenz posited an interesting theory. I would just like to, as arbiter of fate, and admittedly, more than a little bit of a dick, consider this a piece of divine intervention. There is more than you know waiting for you in the Thief Vault. God damn it, you fucks! Fucking fuck. Well, that's going on Twitter. Grab that screenshot real quick.
That's beautiful. Require a constant supply of almonds.
Mm.
Yes.
To answer your question, almonds. That being said. Now, are you necessarily going to find what you want in the Thief Vault? Probably not. Maybe. Who knows? Not I. I haven't read this adventure path before. Ha ha ha. Now, what I can tell you, however, is that you... I'm sorry, what was that? I don't care! To me, it's all an adventure path. Where was I? Right. There's more waiting for you than you think in the Thief Vault. And yet, maybe quite not as much as you expect, but maybe more. You don't know. It's very interesting, isn't it?
I do remember the tales of the ancient green dragon that was said to be spoken of near the Thief Vault.
Was it near or was it in the heart? Ta-ta! And he just walks back into the shadows of the room after giving Theth a little bit of a head pat. And then he just fucks off, and that the shadows in that corner are darker. And then empty. Dropped an almond, and Artemis immediately tried to eat it.
But she won't eat fish.
Literally tried to give her salmon.
Almonds aren't fish.
I just don't understand this cat's dietary wants.
You tried to give her fish.
Yes.
The almond was stolen.
Ah.
Smaug rules, got it.
Fuck, that's a good point.
I mean, it's a cat.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
What is it? Is it the yellow lantern green, or is the what's mine is mine?
Oh, orange.
Oh, orange.
Okay, it's orange.
They're fucking both of you!
Larfleeze.
Yeah, Larfleeze was the motherfucker to end all motherfuckers.
And mine and mine and mine and mine and mine and mine. Not yours.
Oh, before I go, Laurenze. Whether in this life or the next, there is something waiting for you on Uriel. Ta-ta!
Sometimes I wonder if he just said things to fuck with us.
Fef, you hear in your head, I do.
Yeah, I was just saying, I stopped wondering a while ago.
Uriel. I'm trying. Is that the other continent?
Yes.
Or is that okay? Trying to actually look, because I could have sworn I had some kind of notes on that dragon. Ah, yeah, found it. So, yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to killing him.
With the Lorenz
And
bringing
now
up
we'll
that
find
bit
out how you could do it.
with Lorenz
Why do
having
you
brought
guys
up that
hate me
bit
so
on the Green Dragon. It's just, I do remember when we were in Merrick's kingdom, there was someone who spoke of I believe his court mage mentioned there was Krak-Harum. Yes, Krak-Harum, Green Dragon within the T-Fold.
Yes. That was within the T-fold, like, correct?
I believe it was as Father Fef said, in the very heart of the forest.
And a more worrisome.
More worrisome, or perhaps fortuitous.
A
hard
potential
to
advantage.
It's hard to say unless we were to actually go there ourselves, but with the fact that the dragon was known to Merrick and his kingdom, even if they were staying away to avoid disturbing it, the fact that it still stayed somewhere that it could be found and hadn't resumed any kind of hostility even in the wake of the worm.
Who is this King Merrick? I don't know of any King Merrick in this kingdom, in this empire. Some random fuckhead noble.
Hey, guy, let's play a game. Everybody who's fought a dragon, raise your hand.
Oh, yep, hi.
Arodia. Theostrix.
Valid.
Leolin.
Oh, that's funny. Your hand's not up.
Oh, well, I never.
Oh, maybe you should have.
Harumph.
Pax, I need you to roll me 1d8.
I think Pax is dealing psychic damage.
Pax,
1d8 harumph damage.
Pax, you've officially done 4 social damage to this man. His social credit has gone down. Well done. As everyone just kind of sneers and just kind of, the lad's got a point. Yeah. Well, and meanwhile, the Emperor. Then I leave it to you, Wallace Brute. And go and fight the dragons that are currently ravaging the kingdom, or the Empire, sorry. Or chase down this lead. See where it leads. Lead us to some greater epiphany.
A moment to consult with my friends, if you will. Well, what do you lot think? The dragons are posing as immediate a threat as it seems. Perhaps heading eastward, or what is it? Direct east, or no? Heading south to the T-fold may at least put us in position to try and find Crackroom, and if we are able to, be it put a stop to him if he would side with the invading dragon forces, or potentially get him allied with us, at least have that handled before any of the dragons make their way further inland.
Good points. But I just cannot shake the thought of the dragons having worked so hard to hide so many things. Gold and jewels. It does not seem like enough to go as far as they have. There is something in there. But it is not a guaranteed thing either, I suppose.
No. It is something that we should look into, but unfortunately I believe the urgency of things has robbed us of the time to do so. At least with any kind of expedience, without leaving more of the continent at risk.
Perhaps. The map is complete, it just needs to be deciphered, but who knows where it will lead. Could teach them a concept I know none of us are fond of, but I could teach them the beacon that the cult used. We have enough powerful spellcasters here. Attracting the dragons to a agreed upon weakness within the Empire. Giving them the information rather than letting them find it for themselves in a controlled way. As far as we are aware, no dragon was left alive long enough to tell them that the cult of dragons has died and failed.
Does they even care about this cult?
No, but assuredly a beacon to dragons alone would pique their interest. At least take 1 or 2 off course. Maybe more. It is not just it does not summon them, no, but it is a light that calls to them. It is not just a signal, it is
A beckoning.
of a sort, yes. It is the call to attack.
It's not without merit, I'll say.
As for going to the Tiefwald, loath as I am to play along with yet another of his games, there is potential merit. Was it not said that there were some dragons heading in the direction where they could be either going for the forts or to the Tiefwald itself?
It was. It is a good point.
Could it not be said to reason then that these dragons are going to seek the one we would hope to find there?
It certainly could be. They may be looking to rouse and recruit him if he had not been woken by the worm's call when it rose.
Or he ignored it.
There's too much we don't know, but if nothing else, I would like to try and at least seek out Krakkaroom. Again, perhaps there is a chance that we may be able to recruit them into our cause to defend this continent, or if not, we can eliminate whatever threat they may pose of adding another to their ranks.
Sounds then that your mind is made up. At least, and for the most part. I will not get in the way.
I think you are right. I think the dragon poses a greater threat if it is a threat indeed.
Then go to confront this dragon. Either peacefully or not, I don't know. See what you can find from King Merrick along the way. Or don't. I don't know the politics of that area, and from what you last told me, I don't know how that war is going.
It is something we will certainly find out soon enough.
Indeed. Then I wish you well. And I give you all haste. We may need you back sooner than we think.
Of course.
On a silver lining, I have presents for you when you return. Of a sort. Something that will help you in your battle against Gavinok, I do believe. But that is for a later time.
I presume they are not amply ready.
Not yet. Testing is still being worked on.
Very well.
I believe you will enjoy it.
I will look forward to it then.
Nods. Gives you Mahajapit. Correction. He gives everyone except Mahajapit a handshake. Then he comes to you, Mahajapit. And the Emperor of the Devarian Empire kneels down and gives you a hug.
There's a slight pause before Ma does return the hug in earnest, but he, as he hugs him, he does, in a bit of a hushed whisper, just say to him, "Remember that state secrets don't mean much if there is no state left. Don't hold information for too long. If we need it,
Don't worry.
please."
They are near completion. It could be the deciding factor.
I trust you, Albrecht.
I'm glad that I have earned that. And he stands. And the look on the nobles is just aghast in horror at the fact that the Emperor has kneeled before someone, let alone to give a hug to someone they view as a false noble.
I just looks at them as just, well, how else was he supposed to hug me?
Don't worry, Mahajapit, most of them have never been hugged before.
Oh no.
And Albert just looks at you. When did you get funny?
This morning.
That enough?
That will be a story for later.
That enough. Go, with all haste. If needs be, I will send word to the stables here at the palace. Get horses to take you the way you need to go faster.
I wonder if the wolves have long gone home.
I didn't hear that.
Just leaning towards Pax even. Those wolves went home a long time ago, yes?
Yeah, but we could probably get them again once we're in the forest.
Oh, for sure. I suddenly remembered them.
I remembered them a while back. Still a good option, even though I don't have one.
And that is actually where we will end tonight's session. With you guys presumably heading to the stables, I would assume. Getting the horses, heading out of the Devarian capital city.
All right.
Off to be big damn heroes again.
What else is new?
So I'm going to do something that I hope doesn't feel cheap. Everyone gets 2,000 experience points.
Oh god.
Okay.
Shit. All right.
That puts us at level 14 with 730 experience.
Yes. And from what I've told my players, and from what people may or may not remember, likely, because this is session number 50, by the way. Hi, episode 50. 52, maybe 53 will be the final session of the campaign.
Yeah, it certainly feels like, especially with, the Draconic Horde is days away, that, yeah, shit is, escalating.
Yeah, we're full on Majora's Mask now.
A little bit. So yeah.
Hours until the final day.
I kind of need you guys to get to be at a certain level before the final confrontation, but at the same time, drawing that out would just be tedious. I was going to give you guys 1,000 experience points for actually killing Alicia regardless. Because that's a big event. That is the conclusion of a character's personal arc. I was going to give you guys 1,000 experience points regardless. The extra 1,000 is basically just, hey, to avoid 7 sessions of just killing dragons and nothing but in different locales.
Right. Just avoid
gang goes on a murder tour.
the dragon filler arc.
Right, exactly. Because I really don't want to do a filler arc, especially this close to the end of the campaign. That would just kill momentum right at the end. So I was like, I've been debating this for a better part of a month. I'm going to be honest. Of just how do I get you guys where I need you to be without kind of it feeling cheap? Or shortchanged, basically. And I hope that you guys don't feel shortchanged by the, basically, hey, here's a free level, by the way. Whoop!
The only niggling doubts I have at the moment are just because we raffle stomped Sonnoth before we got to do the full fight you had in your head. Otherwise, I'm totally fine with this.
No, to be fair, again, in a way, you guys have earned that extra experience regardless, because, you stopped the other part of the encounter from even happening. That alone deserves experience.
Phase skipping, motherfucker.
Right. You literally skipped the hard mechanic before the fucking phase came out. You interrupted the boss at the perfect time, literally the exact time needed, and wasted literally enough actions so that she couldn't summon backup. You did that flawlessly, whether intentionally or not. You, via tactics and wherewithal, stopped the harder part of the fight from happening. That deserves reward. And I will stand by that.
Oh yeah.
Experience is not just about, in my opinion,
How much shit did you kill?
right, it is not just about, oh, you killed this, this, and this. Experience absolutely is deserved when you completely negate a fucking fight. Like, if you manage to if there is a point where, because literally physically, had we been sitting around a dinner table, when you guys killed Alicia as you did, I literally would have just taken the character sheets for the other part of the encounter and just torn it up and thrown it in the trash. It was great. Do not think for a second I am unhappy with how that went down. That was fucking beautiful.
The fact that it was the disintegrate from Laurenze that actually
Laurenze.
got the kill too is what.
Yeah. Again, I very intentionally
Symbolic.
Yes. It's very much like the way Azalin was the one who delivered the killing blow to Maximilian Holtz. Just bop. But yeah, so you guys are now level 14 on the cusp of level 15. And we will see how, as the party begins their travels out of the Bavarian capital on horseback with all due haste, heading to the Thiefwald towards what is very potentially a penultimate encounter, depending on how it goes. We will see you guys next week.
Not next week, because I am. Well, I guess if you guys still do feel up for holding the session, but I am out of town for my brother's wedding.
Right. You have your brother's wedding coming up. Yes.
Yeah. It depends. If you guys do still end up having session, cool. Because I know that sometimes we like to carry on if it's just one person out.
Right.
So, but and I don't know if with us being on like this final arc, not sure how you want to handle it.
We'll see how it goes when the time comes. Obviously, in my head, in my heart of hearts, I've also kind of always considered, because of how Mahajapit is connected to Glinthaduk, I've always also kind of considered the main plot, as it were, kind of Mahajapit's arc in a way.
I feel that in a sense.
Right. So maybe not necessarily his arc explicitly, but at the very least, very intrinsically entwined.
Yeah, there's a solid link there.
Maha was there when the war started. Maha was there when the war ended. Maha is one of the ones who helped reveal the cause of the war. Maha is so intrinsically linked to everything that has been happening in terms of the overall grand plot. It's definitely consideration. We'll see how it kind of plays out next week, if people are available, if not, what people are feeling. And if we take a week off, that just gives me more time to make maps. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. Gotta feed that hobby addiction.
The final encounter, and I was telling TT about this the other day. I was genuinely considering using PTO to take a day off just to make the maps for the final encounter.
Oh, Jesus.
I have a lot of work on my plate. And I take it on willingly. Do not misinterpret. But it's definitely a lot. Especially because, before this campaign, and technically the last one, I've been primarily a Theater of the Mind DM. Even in Shadowrun, and Dave and TJ can attest, even in Shadowrun, I was mostly a Theater of the Mind fucking DM. Which is not the setting you want to do Theater of the Mind in, by the way. Shadowrun is especially, like, needs fucking hard and fast stuff. But yeah, so if we take a week off next week, that's okay. If we don't, that's okay.
Right.
We'll see how it plays out. Thank you, everyone. Whether you're watching live or watching on the VOD, I do appreciate you all hanging out. Bit of a shorter session this week. We will be back when we are back. And as always, Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful week. And we'll see you guys soon.
Goodbye.